In this video, we're going to look at 3 simple components you can use to write any email, whether it's asking a friend for a favor or landing your first deal. We'll look at what makes up a good email, how to keep it short, how to keep it interesting, to the point, and then we'll look at how to use AI tools and models, specifically Prompt Loop, to come up with ideas, drafts, and a start to this 3-step formula for writing good emails. So first, what's an email? An email is a simple communication, generally asking for something to someone specifically. Specific is important. We want to read emails that are customized to us from people we know. And if they're from strangers, we hope they've done research to make it a little bit more interesting to us in particular. They might have a great product, but if they haven't done the research to know that we're the great customer, we probably don't want to read it. So the first component of the email should always be about who you're reaching out to. This could be a blog post you've read that they've posted, an industry they're in, a particular city they live in, if this is something localized, or some reason why you're reaching out to them. The second component is, who are you? The value prop. Your value prop could be, hey, I'm your nephew, I'm your son, I'm your friend. But oftentimes it's, hey, this is the company I'm working for. This is why we're so amazing. This is what we're doing specifically good for you. So the value prop is the meat in the sandwich of the email, should be as short as possible and as customized to that person as possible. The last is the ask. Why are we writing? This could be a reply, but very often it's the first email in a sequence and we want something like, can we get coffee next week? Can we rule the world together? Can you answer a question I have? Important that this doesn't necessarily need to be the end goal of the relationship. If, for example, you're starting a conversation with a new customer, you probably don't want to ask them to sign up for a 2-year-long contract on the first touch point with them. It could be just, let's book a meeting, let's get in touch, let's talk about something, or simply, here's a blog post we wrote you might find interesting. Here it is. So the ask is important, and this is especially important that it has to be short, to the point, and relevant. So these 3 components make thinking about an email and even reading emails much more interesting. We're going to use Prompt Loop, an AI tool that lets you take these components, pre-populate them, and then generate several pieces of outreach to your customers. Let's jump over. What we're looking at here is a Google Sheets model that has Prompt Loop built into it. Prompt Loop lets you use AI models in a spreadsheet formula. So you'll see here a simple dropdown with the reason for reaching out. Remember component 1, the value prop, reasons why you're interesting to talk to, worth responding to on an email. And then the question of the ask, what do you want to do? What are you trying to get out or get from this particular piece of communication? So these dropdowns are simply just connected to examples here. You likely should have a list or reason of why you're reaching out to a particular person in an email campaign. You want to know the value prop. Why are you worth reading and listening to? And then what questions do you want to ask so that you can get the answers you need and nothing else? And the question and ask should be a question, and it should be at the very end of the email. So Prompt Loop works based off examples. You can use a tool like ChatGPT to say, write an email as if I am a business person asking a question, but it's often more valuable to get very specific as to, again, the pieces of the sandwich that we want to use, and then how we like to write emails. What I did here is I wrote 3 short, 3-component emails that are based off of these reaching out, value prop, and asks. These 3 examples tell the model how we want to craft our email so that when we go back to where we just were, I can select we'll just turn this to no so it doesn't generate. I can select, we want to make a new YouTube channel, to experiment with copy ideas, and then we'll say, start a free trial account as our ask. And off goes the model. Now, quickly, we're going to have a generated email with component 1, why you're reaching out, why it's specific to this person. This could be much more tailored based on information you have about your market or who you're reaching out to. The middle, why you're worth responding to, the value prop, and keep this to the point. And then a very short, what are you looking for? Everyone's busy. People want to know why you're emailing them, and they can decide on their own if it's worth responding to you or if you have a compelling ask. So this tool is linked below. Try it out today, fill it out with your examples, your drop-down data, whatever is relevant to your particular emails you have to write, and then start creating drafts. I can now take this draft and then drop it into Gmail, Outlook, whatever I use, and customize it a little bit further, obviously replacing first name and adding in a little bit more flavor to start writing better emails. Thanks, and if you're not already, subscribe below. I make plenty of videos like this and would love to help out more of you write better emails so that the emails I get and read are even better and shorter. Thanks.